Well, it's great to win two in a row. It's great to follow up uh, the big time win that we had at Madison Square Garden, to come back and to take care of business at home, to finish the non conference schedule with a win, um, and to get a win at home. Uh, this is a good team that we beat. They've played well all year. They've been coached well. They're very tough, a physical basketball team. We got off to a hot start shooting the basketball, and I thought it was maybe a little bit of fool's gold for us. We didn't have the energy that I thought that we would have and that we need to have, really, for about the first 24 minutes of the game. And at the under 16 timeout in the first half, or whenever it happened, there was a timeout. We talked about that at the media timeout, just that. And we came out and we started doing it. And we made some plays. Mo made some big-time plays at the basket that kind of energized it. We made some shots, but just as important, our zone was really active, and we forced them into some long shots. We were active. We forced some turnovers, and we were able to get out in transition and get some easy baskets. And then we started playing with the rhythm that's necessary for us to be a good basketball team and be the best basketball team that we can be. I thought some individual performances, obviously Femi to shoot the basketball like he did from three and from mid-range, was huge for us. Mo's stat line in his 2 games in a row where he's played really well. I thought O came in and gave us some really, really good minutes defensively, and then driving and making some passes. And so, again, pleased with that. We'll get a much-needed break for our guys. They'll get a chance to go home for a few days. And then we'll resume back Christmas Day. That evening we'll get together and then start getting prepared for the next game.
Jeff, as a coach, how do you approach a young player, especially one that's important to your team like Femi, when he's coming off of the shooting performance that he had against St. John's? How do you kind of try to talk to him, or maybe keep his confidence up, or talk him through things?
Well, we just talk. We talk. I mean, as long as they're good shots. And guys have to understand what's a good shot for one person may not be a good shot for someone else. Time and score, all those things factor into it. But Femi knows that we have a lot of confidence in him. And sometimes you just don't make shots. And, that happens. And I think, good players have convenient amnesia. You forget about it, and you don't let it affect you. And I'm glad he didn't allow it to affect him today.
Jeff, you often talk about valuing the basketball. You guys only had 6 turnovers in this game. You went through the season. What went into that did you see that was different both in the game and how you guys approached it?
Well, I thought, again, we were stronger with the basketball. They didn't really pressure. Like they don't really pressure. They don't pick you up full court or in passing lane, so we were able to make plays, to make passes and do that without the rest. I was a little bit concerned because in watching them on tape, they've been very aggressive in ball screens. And I think their game plan was to make a shoot. They went under. They backed up. And so I thought that helped us out a little bit. And then when they started to do it, I thought we had counters to it, some things that we worked on, getting rid of the basketball quickly, meeting passes, being strong, making the easy pass, the pass that's right in front of you, and making those plays.
You told us, Jeff, that he had watched the St. John's game 3 times through. I mean, is that, I'm sure for a player like that, with that kind of pride, it's probably difficult to watch a game like that, but how much is that in line with the guy that you've gotten to know here over the year and a half he's played for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's not a surprise to me, only because it was Madison Square Garden. That's where he's from, and I knew he wanted to have a huge game there, and he did have a huge game. He just didn't make shots, but he was a big time contributor to us winning that basketball game. And good players have pride, man. You want to go back and you want to study the shots. We watch tape collectively as a group. The individual coaches watch tape with their position guys and show them things like that. This is news. I didn't know that Femi watched it 3 times. That's not something that we've talked about, and that's good. I am maybe a little bit surprised by that, but it's something that's a pleasant surprise.
Jeff, what you've learned about your team so far this year, what makes you think this can be sustainable?
Well, I hope it can be. The thing that we have to have, we have to understand who we are. That's the main thing. We have to win ugly. We have to bring teams to the mud. We are very inconsistent, and that may be a little bit too much, but we're really inconsistent shooting the basketball. That's who we've been all year. We've struggled with turnovers. That's who we've been. But when we play hard and we play together and we play tough and we play smart, we give ourselves a chance to win. And those are the things that have to be there, regardless of if a shot is going in or anything like that. Like, we have to do that. We have to be connected. We have to be tough. Like, we have to do that, and we have to understand that we have to defend. We have to defend collectively as a group, individually. We have to do that, and then we have to finish it with rebounding.
Jeff, you had mentioned a couple weeks ago about wanting more aggressive play from Mo. Is this what you're talking about, what you've seen recently?
Yeah, I mean, these past 2 games, he's played with more force. And it really started with Colgate, that play that he had at the end when we were down 3, when he drove it and got the end one. He played through contact right there. A lot of times Mo has avoided contact. And so to see him attack the rim like he did today was really, really good. Look, he'll make a 3. Hopefully he'll make more. But that's something he's inconsistent with. But the things that he can do, he can block shots. He can be active defensively. He can drive, especially when he has bigger guys on him. He can make plays there. And when he's talking and he's active, it just gives us a different look. And that's the main thing that we need from him. And so it's been really good to see him start to play with a little bit more force. And hopefully as we get into conference play, that's something that will continue.
Talk to us about, playing tough, like you said, playing together. You mentioned brick by brick is what you guys always say. How do you feel so far through the season, battling through all this adversity, that the team has bought into your, brick by brick philosophy?
I think they have. Again, like I've said it over and over. Like I'm really proud of how they've continued to show up. It would have been very easy to throw in the towel, for everyone, not me, but for everyone, because all the things that happened. 2 of your best players, or you thought they would be 2 of your best players, 2 guys that I thought they would be 2 of our top scorers. They're out. Like, we haven't had them. And they're 2 older guys, 2 guys that have pop, 2 guys that can defend, 2 guys that are really competitive. And now all of a sudden that changes the whole dynamic of our team, and we're trying to figure it out on the fly. And then we lose the first 2 games. We come back and we win 2. And then we lose 4 in a row. And then, 2 of them were like gut punches, like in heartbreaking fashion, where you maybe feel like you have it won and then you don't have it won right there at the last second. They've continued to get up. They've continued to get off the mat. They've continued to show up every day, and they've tried to get better. When we lost here to Minnesota, I thought the next couple of practices that we had were maybe 2 or 3 of the best practices we had all year. And we go down to Virginia, and again, gut punch. And again, we came back. We had a positive attitude. They showed up. They were willing to listen and to get better, and we got better. And we won. We didn't handle that correctly after we won, and we didn't have a great performance against a really good Monmouth team. But then through exams, through everything that was going on, we go to Madison Square Garden in that environment, and we're tough. We're together. We fight. We're strong, and we make a play. And then to finish that off here, is something that hopefully we can continue to build on. But again, we have to understand who we are. We have to understand how we have to win. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be maybe how we thought it was going to be when we started and we were putting this thing together. And as we were going through September, October, it's not like that anymore. And when we've done that, when we've played that way, we've put ourselves in a position to beat anyone. And that's what we have to be.
How much does it seem like guys have embraced that, Jeff, about having to kind of, muck things up or play it ugly, I guess, for lack of a better term?
They have to, because that's the only way. Like, there's nothing that's pretty about us. We had some pretty plays today, and winning is pretty. Like, the last couple of plays against St. John's were beautiful. And they were defensive things. They were toughness things. But this is who we are. Like, this is who we are. And so I think they've accepted it. There's no other choice.
There was at one point you guys went like on a 14-0 run. I think you guys were starting to penetrate. You saw, feeds down to John, kick out to Mo, and he was able to finish. Same thing, Femi drive in. When you started to see that, what did you see from your team in those moments to say, like, is there anything clicking for them that said, hey, like, we can break through what they're trying to do to take away our bread and butter?
I just thought the energy was better. I thought we shared the basketball. We made the correct play. we defended, we rebounded, we were active, we forced turnovers. I just thought it was that. I thought it was that during that stretch where we have to get better. We went up 15, they call timeout, and then we give up a 3. We come down, we miss, and then we foul, and they get 2 free throws. So right away, and that's happened. That's happened to us. It happened against Minnesota where we had a lead, and all of a sudden there's a timeout, and we come out, and then in less than 2 minutes it's a tie game. To happen against someone else is slipping my mind right now where we had a lead like that, and then all of a sudden we don't. We have to be able to keep our foot on the gas in those moments.
I noticed you had some guys in masks on the bench today. You look around, games are getting canceled, game in the ACC got canceled. Are you concerned about what this next month, 2 months might look like? No?
Yeah, I've been concerned, man. I mean, it's. I'm not one of these guys that think this or has thought at any point that this thing is going away or it's going away. So yeah, I am concerned. We're in a very dangerous time right now, and we need everyone to be safe and just follow whatever protocols that your state or your city or whatever it is there, because we want everyone to stay healthy. Certainly, we want all of our players, but I want everyone to stay healthy. For me, it's not just about this; it's about everyone. And so I am concerned, and hopefully, we can make good decisions and see what happens.
How have you seen your guys respond to the challenge of just having to follow those protocols, seeing on the news all the rising numbers, and that's a lot of stress on just kids trying to play basketball.
These young people have been under so much stress, man, the past 2 years. The world has completely changed, and I think they've handled it with incredible strength. I don't know when I was their age if I could have done it. I don't know if I would have had the discipline to do those things back at that time, back when I was 18, because we were a fairly young team, 18, 19, 20 years old. I'd like to think maybe that I could, but I don't know. It's been so much, man, over the past 2 years, so much. And it's still a lot going on right now with this virus. It doesn't seem like it's ever going to end. This may be the new normal, and we just have to adjust. My college coach used to always say, sometimes you just got to play motion offense, and you got to go with it and just see and make the adjustments, wherever the adjustments have to be made, and you have to adapt, and that's what we have to do. They've shown a tremendous strength to be able to adapt.
I mean, when did you know it was going to be that kind of a day for you, where so many shots fall and you have the kind of game that you did? Was there any point where you were kind of like, yeah, I'm feeling it today?
Before the game started, I watched the St. John's game 3 times because that was like the home court advantage. I had a bad game, and I hate having the feeling of playing bad in front of everybody and letting them down. So this game, I made sure before I go home, I'll play with energy and show people what I could really do.
Do you typically do that with games where you'll rewatch it, where you'll rewatch it 3 times, or was in this instance it because of the way that you played?
Yes, for this instance, yeah, is the way I played. But I like to watch film and see all the mistakes and turnovers, so it can help me during the game, so I can think about it. But for this instance, I was just playing out there.
I mean, it wasn't just you scoring though. Mo, you got involved. You guys were moving the ball a lot. What went into you guys' success, especially once you guys weren't just shooting outside, you started breaking through their defense and forced them to kind of switch things up?
We wanted to feel the experience of winning, and if we got to win as a team for 1 through 13, so we know we had to keep swinging the ball around and attack, and other guys got to get ready to score and stuff like that. So we wasn't really thinking about one person scoring; we thinking about it together.
What has rewatching showed you so far specifically about your game?
Sometimes I play with a little too much energy, and I turn over the ball and do careless stuff. And rewatching it shows me the things that I could take advantage of when the defense is playing me.
How much extra pressure, I guess, do you end up putting on yourself in situations like that game last week, where you're playing back home, you're playing in a venue I'm sure that you grew up dreaming of playing in? How much do those factors sort of increase pressure on you, and in some instances maybe make you try to do too much?
Yeah, that's actually a lot of pressure because I know somebody's watching, and hopefully I have a fan out there, and I just always want to impress the fan that came out to watch, who had their first chance to come out to the game and watch me play. So I just think about that and wanted to play hard for the fans and for my family.
Mo, Jeff told us a couple games ago that he wanted you to be more aggressive. Is that what we've seen out of you? Do you feel like you're just being more aggressive offensively?
Yeah, just embracing the physicality, playing with more of a motor. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't think it's more so my offense has changed. I think it's just personally my energy. I've been playing with high energy, feeding off the energy of these guys, they're trusting me with the ball. And just, I trust in my work. I work on this stuff every single day, so it's like, just going out there and doing it.
Mo, they went up by 4, and it was kind of a point in the game where it could have started really getting away from you guys. You end up putting on like a 22-3 run or something like that. What kind of, what happened in that stretch, I guess? Is there anything you would point to?
I feel like maybe we got a little bit complacent because of how hot we came out of the gates in the beginning of the game. We kind of maybe took our foot off the gas a little bit and thought this was going to be an easy game. And then, they was playing, and then you seen what happened. We going into halftime, and, we talked it out. The big thing was coming into this game with the same energy we had last game. Obviously, this is no Madison Square Garden, but it should be that way for every single game. So we kind of figured that out and turned things around in the second half and was able to pull off a win.
You guys haven't been a heavy shooting team. I think that when you guys shot 17 3-pointers in the first half, that was like the third most you shot in any game all season long. When you come out and you're hitting like you are, what kind of message did you guys have in the locker room to say, like, hey, let's keep that up, or hey, we've got them on the ropes on the outside, let's start kicking it inside? Was there any talk of that balance?
I feel like there's no talk. Everybody works out a lot, and we believe in practice that we could shoot. Everybody can be able to hit the shots. It's just game time. We don't usually make the shots that we take in practice.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of teams, the scout on us has been to gap up, take away lanes because we have slashers and guys who want to get to the rim. So, like he said, we work on that all the time, and the more we hit, the more they're going to have to come out and contest us, and that's when we could get more stuff inside, which happened in the second half.
But did you feel that your dunks in the second half sort of triggered the team and got everybody a little more excited?
I mean, sort of. I want to say it was more so like my reaction to the dunks because these guys know I'm a quiet guy, so I feel like when they see me react after plays, blocks and dunks, give a little scream or flex, that energizes the team. And we needed that in the second half to really get going. So I was just trying to make plays and get our team's energy up.
What do you guys see this as a meaning? Like, this is your last non-conference game before ACC play opens up. You end it with a 2-game win streak heading into it. Where do you guys see yourself? You guys have been through a ton this year already. Just what you guys have had to overcome and how you guys feel you've built yourself as you get ready for the ACC.
We know that from now on our games is going to be ugly. It's not going to be pretty like tonight. We know that we got to play on defense first and offense because our defense helps create a lot of things for our offense. So we just ready going into the ACC, ready to play.
How much do you guys embrace, I guess, playing ugly and that sort of being the team's identity right now?
I mean, I feel like that's just kind of the identity of Pittsburgh, brick by brick, working hard. It's a hard-working city. You got tough people, so that's the kind of identity we've tried to embrace. And we realized we got shortages on offense with Nike being out 19 and everything like that. So we had to find another way to get these wins, and we realized it's going to start on the defensive end, playing real gritty, making hustle plays, and really just using our energy to get these wins. So I feel like we've embraced it, and we've just tried to do what we can. And, once the offense starts clicking, we'll have to start having, better games, like offensively.
Over the course of this season, Mo, you've shown yourself to be a versatile player, a guy who can kind of stretch the court out, knock down threes. When people see you, they see a 6'10" guy blocks a bunch of shots. Like, do you feel like you ever surprise people out there? Like as far as what you can do, where maybe they would see like your physical size and your block stats, and they'd maybe pigeonhole you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure now in the scout, people realize that I can dribble the ball, but it's always been that way. They see me 6'10", long and athletic. They don't really think I can handle the ball that much, so I feel like that surprised them the most. And working on my shot a lot probably surprised them because last season I didn't shoot as many threes as I did now. So I feel like it does surprise them. But, obviously teams adjust. They have scout and all that kind of stuff. So I got to do the same thing, just keep adjusting and improving.
Well, you talked about how a lot of teams try to gap up against you guys and block down low. When you guys are able to penetrate that, and like Femi, you had the one pass to Mo to set that up. What kind of energy does that bring to you guys when you guys feel like, okay, we're breaking, they're trying to take our bread and butter away, and we're still making it work?
I feel like it deflates the other team. Like, we were playing, and that little stretch we had when we was just kind of getting whatever we wanted, I feel like, you know, we kind of took the life of the other team, and it brought us life, and we just wanted to keep our foot on the gas and keep going.
I mean, I know you didn't get to play against Virginia, but having the ACC experience last year, do you have a good feeling of how you guys need to play? And was that Virginia game maybe a blueprint from a team standpoint, what you guys need to do?
Yeah, I have a great feeling. Because for us, we like big games, and all the big games we played so far, we have high energy and ready to play. So we actually can't wait to play in the ACC and show everybody what we can do.